Hey there, everybody. This is going to be a very different video that a lot of you are probably not going to like, seeing that I am mostly a Five Nights at Freddy's channel. Now, this has been something that's been brewing in the back of my mind for a very, very long time. That being said, this is the video about my love-hate relationship with the series Five Nights at Freddy's. Before we get started, I want you all to understand. No, I do not hate the series. No, I do not despise everything. And yes, I do love the series still. I'm not going to stop making videos about it because there's a separation between the things I like and the things I dislike, and I will get into that later. But no, I don't hate the series. I don't hate the characters. I don't hate Scott. I don't hate Steelwool. I don't hate anybody. I'm just disappointed. Now, to start the video off, I need to give you all some context. I started getting into the series between FNAF 2 and 3 about late 2014, early 2015, back whenever the series was a lot simpler and before the Silver Eyes had came out. So this is before William Afton was William Afton. This was whenever we knew him as names like Purple Guy and Vincent. If you guys know, you know. Yeah, and he also really liked toast for some reason. Don't look it up. You'll probably find a lot of stuff you don't want to see. But getting serious, I have been a fan for nearly 10 years now, and watching the franchise grow and spread its leaves has been wild. It is something I am very passionate about. Obviously, I collect the merchandise, I draw the characters, and I have a lot of love in my heart for the series. But it's changed in a very not great way, and I will explain. It's not just the games themselves, it's also us, the fans. We've changed. And we've evolved into something that is toxic and not great. So with the games themselves, whenever I jumped in, there was a murderer who murdered 5 children and stuffed their bodies into animatronic suits. That's morbid. That's dark. That's gritty. And it really pulls on your heartstrings thinking that these suits, these characters, have children's bodies stuffed in them, reanimating them in distorted and decrepit ways that they never should have been imagined to have been thought of. It's a very dark story. It's a very gross, morbid, sad story of murder and vengeance. Whenever they get revenge on William Afton and he dies in the Springlock suit, they give him a taste of his own medicine. He dies by the robotic hands of the machine that he created, and now he suffers and is forced to live on just as they did, in pain and agony for however long William lives. He's a corpse possessing his own body, pretty much. That's dark. That's dark. That's so scary to think about. It really is. Imagine Chuck E. Cheese. Now imagine Chuck E. Cheese lurching sideways with his head at a very crooked angle, with his mouth slowly gaping open as he reaches for you, as you're sitting back behind an office desk. Ugh. Creepy. It's creepy. It really is. But beyond that, we had a story of ghosts and of vengeance. All the games, 1 through Ultimate Custom Night, Williams Hell. That's one story to me. Sister Location took the sci-fi and really shoved it into the air like, hey, that's cool. They took it to a different level. We got a little bit more advanced animatronics. Okay, that's natural progression. Okay, we're getting there. But it was still grounded in a scary way where you knew child murder, bad stuff happened, blood was spilled, and not a great time for any of the characters involved. We understand that. It's a story of pain, destruction, greed, sadness, and revenge. And the themes shifted between Ultimate Custom Night and VR. Obviously, it's the fact that instead of it being the pizzeria itself, we're in a VR experience, okay? But they discredited all of the old games, all of the murders, everything. And obviously they retconned essentially. But everyone who cared about this story, these characters, we had our legs knocked out from under us and basically had this sub sandwich of new stuff shoved in our face while we were down. They kicked out our legs and reset the franchise we loved. And it kind of hurt. It really hurt. They brought the killer back, who, for all we knew, was burning in hell right now, turned him into a little virus, and said, he still lives. Okay, suspension of disbelief. I watched a guy get his organs scooped out and a robot suit climb into his body and waltz away. But, really? A virus? I mean, okay, I guess. Why not? Ghost in the Machine. I got you. But they changed it. And then they changed it again with Security Breach. Instead of it being a ghost in the machine and, oh look, it's Afton, he's back. Ah, spooky. They brought in a copycat killer, which is really cool. It's a great concept. They should have went head straight into that wall with Vanessa, make her terrifying, make me fear her. But they took this guy. Boop! He's alive again. Guess what? Afton's back. His corpse is right there. He didn't actually die in Pizza Sim. He's not in hell anymore. Woo! Let's go. They brought Afton back again, which could have worked, but then they retconned it for the Mimic, which the Mimic might be Afton, might be his corpse, might be a random girl who climbed inside of a rotting suit and then got squished by the Mimic. We have about 6 Aftons, and we don't know if it's the real Afton or if it's just Afton's body being possessed by another robot, which might just be a very highly advanced AI, which was from the 70s, which we don't really know, but who knows? It could be Afton, might not be Afton. The Mimic might be Afton. Toy Chica is William Afton, for all I know. At this point, they made it so convoluted that all those holes that we used to fill with our own theories, they kind of forced details into everything, and it took the fun out of it. And it changed. It went from a ghost story to a story of advanced robots. It went from a story of revenge to a story of, I don't even know what the themes are in Security Breach. I can't really tell. I used to be sad. I was sad beating Pizzeria Simulator. I was sad watching the Happiest Day minigame in FNAF 3. I don't feel anything anymore. I don't feel anything with Security Breach. I don't feel sad. I don't feel angry. I just feel nothing. I feel like I'm pissed off. That's what I feel like. I'm not mad. I don't understand what's going on anymore. And maybe I'm just too dumb to understand the lore, because everyone just says that. No, you just don't understand. You know, I can suspend my disbelief, but like I'd said before, the series was grounded in a way that felt natural before, and now we're getting things like Sea Bonnies and 3 different William Aftons, which one apparently isn't William Afton. It's just a girl who climbed in a suit, got crushed by the Mimic. Mimic replaced Afton. We don't know if Afton's even canon to Security Breach anymore. Apparently all the old games just don't matter. So what's the point anymore? We're never going to figure it out. They're giving us straightforward stories now, and we're just supposed to kind of be along for the ride? That's never what Scott did. What Scott did was give us a frame, and we filled the frame with whatever we thought. It was up to interpretation. Now we're getting so many details, and the story feels much more convoluted, because we have nothing to base the series on. We don't know what's canon, and what's old lore, and what's now. We don't know anything because they try to shove so many other details that they discredit everything else. From making all the old games not canon, to essentially discrediting everything we knew up to that point. I just feel like the series kind of kicked me while I was down. I don't understand what's going on, and I don't care to anymore. I'm not in it for the advanced AI. I'm not in it for, you know, the computer system being evil. I was here for a ghost story. I was here for a story about revenge. I care about these characters. I can't really care about a character that's not got anything to do with anything. They don't have emotions. Sure, Roxanne might be more of a human than Freddy Fazbear was, but why would I care about a computer? What made me care about these guys is the fact that they feel pain. They have pain. They know suffering because they were human at one point. I don't care about a computer. I care about the fact that these four need to be freed and that they are stuck inside these machines still suffering. And whenever I set them free, it feels good. It feels like you actually did something. But in Security Breach, all you do is you sit there, you destroy the robots, and what am I supposed to feel whenever the kid gets out? If anything, if I took the same approach to the old games that I'm supposed to take to the new games, I would feel like this kid deserves to die. I would feel like he just needs to burn with the rest of the location. Why do I care about a computer? You can't make me care about a computer. I cared because these all were human at one point, and they know pain. And that's the big difference. They made me not care by giving me too many details and taking the soul out of the animatronics. Literally, taking the souls out of the animatronics. That being said, that's the changes in the games. Now, what about the changing in the fandom? Obviously, fandom always changes. It always evolves with every new installment, but oh boy. Whenever they kicked Scott out, a lot of old fans left. I dropped out of the fandom once they kicked out Scott. Because if they don't want Scott in this series, they don't want me either. That's not me even getting into politics, because whether you believe with Scott's politics or not, he has every right to do anything with whatever he has in his own way. He didn't hurt anybody. He didn't, maybe he contributed to something you don't like, but he's, in his own words, he's got an American duty to do whatever he feels is right for the country, and that's good. We got a guy with morals. But they kicked him out, they called him all these names, they sent death threats to his family, and somehow they still think they're the good guys. It'd be one thing to say you don't agree with his politics. It's another thing to, threaten his unborn child and say you're going to go to his house and murder his family. And they still think they're the good guys. The fandom outside of the series is always fighting. They're always mad about something, always trying to cancel somebody. And that's the big change. We used to fight about things with the characters. Now we fight each other. And I don't like it. No one should like that. I'm not a fan of that. That's not what I come to this series for. I come for the characters, the series, and the lore. I don't come to fight this guy because this guy is this, and this. I don't care about that guy. Sure, I might become friends with some people, but I'm not going to sit there in their little rivalry, and that's what I'm here. I don't play video games to worry about why this person's such a bad guy and all this other stuff. Some people don't need to be around because obviously there are children that like the series, but oh boy, why should I care that Stan that made a video game doesn't share the same politics as me? And that's really what it's all about. And that's what I'm sick and tired of dealing with. And this is why I have a love-hate relationship for Five Nights at Freddy's. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I will catch you all in the next video. Peace out. Bye. Please be respectful. Catch you on the flip side.